key changes in modern pop music are becoming a bit of a thing of the past. And I wanted to make this video because there's one song, the first song of the year actually in 2024, that I was listening to that has a key change in it. And these key changes, again, I'm not going to make the argument that you need a key change in your song for it to be interesting, but it is a really, really beautiful and powerful trick that's been used in music and songwriting for literally hundreds of years that now is kind of in a decline. I was actually reading an article before I started filming this video where someone actually broke down the Billboard Top 100 by what percentage of those songs had key changes in them from the birth of the Billboard Top 100 to now. And it seems that something interesting happened around the year 2000, where it went from 30 to 40% of the songs having key changes to literally less than 5. And this is actually a very good year to use in that comparison, in that this song by Sabrina Carpenter is the first song of 2024 to make it into the Billboard Top 100 and have a key change in it. So let's talk a little bit what happens. This song that I'm talking about today is called Please, Please, Please. You might be familiar with it, you might not. I don't spend a ton of my time listening to pop music. I do spend a little bit of my time listening to pop music, especially when I'm hanging out with my fiance, as that's what she mostly listens to. And I was listening to Please, Please, Please by Sabrina Carpenter, and my mind was blown a little bit when it goes into the second verse. So let's talk a little bit about the song and what she and Jack Antonoff kind of cooked up with this key change and why I think it's such a beautiful thing. So this song starts out, we're very clearly in the key of A major. The chord progression for the verse goes like this. We start out on A major, or our 1 chord. Then it goes to F sharp dominant 7. So this is a 5 of 2 is how it's functioning. It's a secondary dominant chord that leads us to believe that our next chord is going to be 2 minor. And lo and behold, it certainly is. So we go here. We hang out there for 2 bars. Then we go up to the 4 chord of the key, which is going to be D. Then we fall to an A major over C sharp, which is just our 1 chord, but it's got the 3rd in the bass. And then it goes to E7, which is our 5 chord. So the verse of this song trucks along and feels kind of like this. Do that again. So this is 1 or A major, 5 of 2 or F sharp dominant, B minor. I'm playing B minor 7 though. Then we go up to 4, which is D, back to 1, but it's inverted, to E7. Now this catapults us into the chorus, which goes 1, so A, then A major 7 over G sharp, or just A over G sharp, depending on how you want to think about it. Then it goes to F sharp minor, which is our 6 chord, and we do this kind of. Then we go 4 to 1 with the 3rd in the bass to E7. Then I think we do that again. I can't totally remember the layout of the song. So 1 with the major 7 in the bass, 6. Then 4, 1 with 3 in the bass, then E7, so 5. This is where things get interesting because the next chord is C. Then it goes to A7, which is 5 of 2 in the key of C, to D minor. Then it goes F, which is 4, C over E, which is just a 1 chord with 3rd in the bass. Then it goes to G. Then it does it again, so C, 5 of 2, or A7, D minor, 2 minor, then 4, then 1 with 3rd in the bass, then 5 of the key of C. So what happened there? We moved from the key of A major to the key of C major. We moved up a minor 3rd. Now this is a really, really common modulation that used to be all over pop music. Moving keys around in minor 3rds is a sound that we're all relatively accustomed to, even if we don't know that we're accustomed to it. But it's this really cool, powerful sound where we use this E7 chord, which is setting us up to hear that we're going to go to A major. But instead, this E7 chord goes to C. We do this little slip. If you weren't paying attention to it, you could almost miss it. And then if you were to look at these kind of 2 verses, so the first verse versus the second verse, they've literally taken the exact same chord progression. So remember, in the first verse, our first 4 bars were 1 or A major, 5 of 2 to 2 minor. That was our first 2 bars. So in A, that's A major, F sharp 7 to B minor. And then when we do this key change coming out of the chorus into that second verse, we go C, which is 1 now, A7, which is the 5 of 2, to D minor 7, which is 2. Then the second half, so in the first verse, it's played as D, which is the 4 chord of A, to A over C sharp, which is the 1 chord, to E7, which is the 5 chord. We do the exact same thing, but in the key of C when we're in this second verse. So we go F, which is our 4 chord, C over E, which is our 1 chord with the third and the bass, and then we go to G7. And now here's where this gets really cool. So let's say I'm gonna play from the end of that first chorus. So right when the key change is coming in, she goes, please, 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 don't bring me to tears when I just did my makeup so nice. Now we go to the key change where we jump from this. So now we're gonna pivot into C. Then we go to G7. We're gonna do this one more time. So 1 or C, 5 of 2 or A7, D minor, which is our 2 chord. Then we go 4, 1 with the third and the bass to G7. Now check this out. This goes back to A. So we pivot right back into the original key, which is such a cool sound to pull out. And then the rest of the song lives in that A. But I just wanted to talk about this today because, again, I think we're being deprived of key changes in popular music today. And it was such a cool thing for me to listen to and go, oh, they actually moved it. And I also wanted to kind of break down what happens, because this sound of taking something, take the exact progression and then just modulate it up a minor third is a really, really common way to shift around these keys. Because when E7 goes to C, that's a super, super common sound that we've heard a bunch. So if you're moving keys in minor thirds, it's almost always safe because the dominant chords will have enough pull to where you're going that you can do it. So I just wanted to break down what actually happens in this beautiful song, and also kind of break it down for you so that you have the tools to mess around with it in your own writing. Because I think, well, again, like I said at the start, you don't need a key change to make your music impactful and interesting. It is a wonderful little nugget that you can use to help kind of tell your story and to help keep things more engaging. So I just wanted to break down what was happening. But if you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. It truly helps me out more than you could know. If you want to take a guitar lesson with me, there's a link to get in touch with me down in the description. I'd love to work with you on whatever's troubling you on the guitar. If you want to support me in the free educational content that I put out here, you can go over to my Patreon, which is also linked down in the description. All of the tiers are relatively affordable, and on Patreon you get early access to videos as well as behind-the-scenes sneak peeks at stuff that I'm working on. Also linked down in the description are links to my ebook or my video course all about triads all over the guitar neck. It's some great educational content that goes a lot more in-depth than I can in a 10 to 15 minute YouTube video. And last but not least, I've got new videos coming out every single week, so I hope I'll see you in the next one. And until I do, I'll wish you a wonderful day, and I hope you have some fun playing the guitar. Thanks.